Just wanted to start off our episode today by saying that we are sad at the Lunchtime Podcast crew. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we are saddened by some of the events that have transpired this past week. It's devastating to see what people in this country are going through, and we want to try and help to make a change. That's why for the month of June, for every listen on our podcast, we will be donating $1 and $5 for every new subscriber to our podcast on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube to the Reform Alliance. The Reform Alliance is an organization that started in November 2017 with the unjust re-imprisonment of Meek Mill. We at LTP felt a special connection to this cause due to some of the founding partners who are involved, including Meek Mill, Michael Rubin, Jay-Z, Robert Kraft, who are representatives and from cities that you've heard us talk about on the podcast that we're really fond of and we're really proud to be a part of. And we just want to be a part of aspiring change as well. Stay safe out there to our LTP community, and we'll get through this.
Thanks for all you do, listeners.
Hey, welcome to the Lunchtime Podcast, a podcast about lunch life and the pursuit of happiness. We got Frank Gargano as our guest interviewee today. Frank, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me there.
Yeah, definitely. So we're starting a new series on Lunchtime Podcast. It's called Who's on Deck. And basically what we're trying to do is give small business owners and people coming up in the sports world, media personalities, people and athletes, etc. We're trying to give them a forum to speak up about kind of how they got started, what they're kind of doing, and promote things that are going on in their businesses right now. So wanted to definitely have you on, as I know that you've been working on Shot Shaver Golf. I've known Frank personally for forever, but I know you've been working on this company for the past, it feels like five years, since you've been in school, right? I don't know. You want to explain to us a little bit about, start off with how you got started, when you decided, I'm going to start my own golf brand and business.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate the comment that you think it's 5 years ago. It's only 2 years it's actually been, dude. It's when I graduated college. So it was formed in 2018, right before I graduated school. And the real thing it started at was pretty much just a YouTube channel. So I'm a golf instructor is my day-to-day job, for those of you who don't know. And as a golf instructor, a lot of time the way people learn golf now is they're like, dude, you gotta send me a YouTube video on how to fix a slice. They really don't want to hear me talk too much. They just want to send me the YouTube video. Just send me the YouTube video. I'm trying to learn this thing from my couch. And when I would be sending them videos, I felt corny sending them other people's instructional tips. I'm like, I have to be doing this myself. So that's really how the brand started. We needed the name rather. And that's what I do, bro. I shave shots. So it had to be Shot Shaver Golf. And
I think everyone can use a little shot shaving.
yeah, it's
Golfing's the only thing there is to do right now.
That's the truth. So we're actually, another side note, we're actually in the process right now. We have a preliminary patent in on trademarking the phrase "shaving shots" for golf. So we're about to lock that up.
Wow.
So be careful what you guys say on this pod, or else my lawyer's just gonna come firing it.
We can always cut it out, Tony. Right?
We'll have our people talk to your people.
There you go.
The thumbs up.
I never would have guessed that. I never would have guessed YouTube videos. I mean, granted, I'm not a huge avid golfer.
Yeah.
But I would definitely want to have the experience of someone working hands-on with me. But
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear you say that. What inspires you to start that business?
So that is, I would say, where I would excel as a golf instructor, and what I do is that more person-to-person interaction. That's why I love what I do, is because I get to just a lot of personal relationships you get to build with people, a lot of mental grinding with people working on stuff, and there's not a lot of opportunities that you get to teach adults in life. I feel like there's not a lot of people are closed-minded to it and don't really want to learn. But golf is the thing that everybody stumped on. And for some reason, I have a pretty good grasp on it and how to do it. So it's pretty cool to have the undivided attention of grown ass men. Because the way I look at it, man, the way I really am in golf right now is because I try to be as self-aware as I possibly can. And if I'm trying to be taken as seriously as I possibly can, as from as young of an age as I possibly can, I have to be talking to other people about things that they wouldn't be like, he's 23, I doesn't know what he's talking about. So I'm not going to go to a stock firm and be like, I know more about trading stocks than you do at 23, because as good as I am at it, I'm going to get laughed at every single room I'm in. But in golf right now, if I can hit a ball 50 yards past you and shoot a 71 when you're shooting 120, they're going to listen to me. So that's like my deep rooted interest in golf. I think from a subconscious standpoint, if we want to start getting into that, as why I love golf so much, because I think as I get the full undivided attention of people that normally wouldn't give me that for anything other than golf.
So you're a scratch.
I'm a
Is that
scratch.
what you okay?
Can you explain to me what that means?
That I shoot 71.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely a nice little plug for you right there.
Yeah. Man. So scratch golfer is that means that if even par is around 72 every time, a scratch golfer is usually going to be around par. So the way the handicap system works, if you usually shoot 15 over par, you'd be a 15 handicap. So that means that if you're a scratch golfer, you're always going to be giving the shots because you don't shoot any over par that often. But I do though. I definitely shoot over par a lot.
What's your best score?
My best score is
any 18 hole.
A 68. At the school I went to college, the college golf course I went to. Yeah.
Where did you go again?
I went to Delhi, SUNY Delhi, upstate New York. It's like one of the Ivy Leagues of the SUNYs, they say.
Oh, there you go.
Sure.
There you go. For
Why not?
golf at the very least.
I'm the only one that says that too, by the way. Why not? Nobody else does it. Yeah, for golf for sure, bro. Yeah, for sure.
You ever play any par threes?
Yeah.
Like the par 3 courses at country clubs that are like 120 yards to the green for 9 holes.
No doubt, man. Yeah, I've dabbled.
You played Heartland? Speaking of par 3 courses?
I'm actually going on Monday, bro.
No way.
I've never been out there. I teach this little 5-year-old prodigy kid. I don't know if you saw him on my gram.
I've seen him on your gram. Yeah.
No joke. So that's just my money in the bank. I have like 15 years. I have to put it on him, and then hopefully I can just retire. He could win the Masters and call it a career. So I'm pretty much all in on him. So we got
who needs a 401k when you have a 5-year-old prodigy?
Yeah, pretty much, bro. I'm just banking on a 5-year-old. That's how my mind works. But we're going to Heartland next Monday though, bro. First time. He just his first par at Heartland this past Friday.
That's incredible.
Iconic.
5 years old, first par. Oh
First
my
par.
God.
How do you hold a 5-year-old's undivided attention?
That is literally such a good question, man. I'm actually coming from his house right now, and I don't have the answer to that. I think I try and he's kind of sick in the head. So he's such a smart kid where he tries to mess with you. He's so smart, like that kind of kid.
Yeah.
And so if he feels that I'm getting annoyed by the fact that he's not paying attention, he does it more. So I actually have to go reverse psychology on him and be like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Because he really just wants to mess with me. So then he wants to play golf in the long end. So that's such a crazy answer about a 5-year-old, but it shows how smart this kid is that I literally have to go in there with like mental strategies to battle him on a daily basis for to get his attention. So
I was a camp counselor for years, and I've been bullied by my fair share of 7 to 12-year-olds. They can be pretty ruthless.
You can't do. They're untouchable. They're untouchable. Yeah. So it's like, all right, you got me. Like I just got to take it. So I just take it.
Yeah, man. I used to be a counselor too for golf, golf camp. That was 5 to 13, the best ages to have a golf camp for. And they would, and they were terrible. They're all terrible too, which was the best part. So they would just hit each other and hit up on each other at the par 3. It was at Heartland, the camp.
Does that make you feel big, Harrison, making fun of 5-year-olds?
They're probably better now. I don't feel too bad about it. They're probably okay.
5 to 13, you're worried probably about 15% improvement, 85% that no one's getting just struck with a golf club in the face because they have no concept of any of their surroundings, whatever.
Well, they just want lunch. At the end of the day, they just want lunch.
They want
Snacks.
Exactly. Crazy.
Way to circle it back. We should rename this episode to at the turn. You know, like you grab a hot dog at the turn instead of lunchtime at the turn.
Ooh.
If you want a spin-off, a golf only podcast, that's
What about, didn't we
talk
talk about, we talked about the 19th hole, right? Was that for this or was that for something else?
Ooh, I like that. What's the 19th hole? Is it like a metaphor?
It's usually what like the bar is called, or the place you get a meal
Like the après ski equivalent for golf.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
We'll think on that. We'll think on that. How many hole-in-ones do you have?
0, brother.
Oh my God.
I have
Just
0.
being modest.
I don't have any either.
No, I wish, man. Yeah, I have 0, and then it's always it's countless amount of guys that I teach that can't. I don't want to say can't break 90, and I give them golf lessons because it makes my instruction look bad. They struggle at the game, but they have like 12 hole-in-ones or something stupid. It's like it just makes no sense.
Have you played with Scott? Have you played with my dad or
I
no?
don't think so.
Not back in he hit one at Latourette at your home course.
Shit, man.
Yeah, at your OG home course.
Yeah, that is, brother. I love
that. The third hole, like over the short one over the water.
Yes.
Lined one, like sculled it right into a hill, bounced up, and just dropped right in. He shot a 61 on that 9.
Damn.
Hey, I got a little trivia.
To Scott's
I got a little trivia question. Speaking of hole-in-ones,
go ahead.
What do you think the most recorded lifetime hole-in-ones record is?
Who is the most on television? Just be like a professional golfer, I guess. Obviously, right?
No, I just looked up recorded. So it's on. I don't think it's a PGA Tour record, but it's just recorded. I have to do some more research to see how official it is, but it's a pretty asinine number.
All right. So you're asking me.
I'd like to see.
It comes down to it. A hypothetical hole-in-one question is what you're asking me. It's just based off.
Yeah, this guy played between 1964 and 1979, so it wasn't on TV. That's
got it. Okay, got it. Recorded. Got it that way. I don't even know, man. 50.
Okay, that's a good guess. Harrison, what do you got?
I have I don't know, 65.
Wow, that's high.
What's the number?
59. This guy, 59 hole-in-ones between that span.
Way.
Supposedly, this.
Can't you just say that though?
Norman Manley of California is perhaps the luckiest or most skillful golfer in the world.
Or the biggest liar of all time.
Yeah, what's Ari Gold signing off on his scorecard?
Yeah, I think we're just taking his word for that one on that article, I guess.
There was a guy in Long Island like a few years ago, I remember, that said that, and I don't know if it's true or not, I'm not calling him a liar, but said that he hit 2 in 1 round, which is like, that's the odds of that are like getting struck by lightning like 10 times.
You better stop and grab a lotto ticket on the way home after that.
No doubt.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, glad to know that there are 0 hole-in-ones on this here podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so I have to ask this because I just have to. But how crazy was it that Julia was singing for American Idol in your? Is it in your backyard right there? That's in our.
Time out.
I just have to ask this out of a shot in the dark.
No.
Time out. Explain this. Who's Julia?
So we have to get this. We got a name drop at some point. My sister she finished in the top 7 of American Idol. It just finished.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
wow.
She was on American Idol. Uncle T with the clap, I think.
Yeah, there we go.
She was incredible, by the way.
Thank you, dude.
She was incredible.
Yeah, I'm actually at my buddy's house. This is not my LA. So I'm at my friend Steve's house, which this laptop is under right now.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so this is not the backyard technically, but it was in my backyard at our house. It was filmed at home this year, which is bonkers. And it was sick though, man. I was
waiting for like my family's been so supportive. My parents, my brother Frank, by the way, at Shot Shaver Golf, like automatic like 50,000 followers. Like I was waiting for that the whole time. I didn't hear it, but
is she the next Carrie Underwood? Is she country or is she more like soul R&B?
She's I don't know what she's like, man. Harry, what do you think? Kind of just like, I guess, more soul style. She's a singer-songwriter. She's a beast, bro. Just look.
She does a little bit of both of that, yeah. From what I heard her sing only on the show. I'm sure Frank.
What did she sing? Was it like something that she wrote, or was it?
So she had by the time the show was done, she sang like 10 songs. There's like all the rap stuff, but She auditioned with an original though. That's like the one that she went like straight up.
Oh yeah. Those are the ones that you see on the TV if they're really good or they're really bad.
Yes. So she did really well. She blew up, man. She's a straight up celebrity now. My sister. It's like life is the weirdest thing. These last 6 months have been insane.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
nuts, dude. The New York State of Mind one was, especially during right now, very, very emotional, very powerful.
Did she move out to LA yet? Because that's coming.
Yeah, man, probably coming. I think with the COVID, and
Yeah,
then,
true.
and the world as we know it, probably not yet. But she's cool. She's cool in New York too. New York's pretty happening as well.
Yeah,
All right,
sure.
last question about Julia, because this is about you. But who's better, you at golf or Julia at singing?
Ooh.
I have to ask. What do you think?
It is Julia at singing by a landslide, bro. No doubt about it.
It's good, brother.
I would agree with
Good
that
brother.
from the last time I saw you swing a club. No, I'm just kidding.
Cold, bro. That's cold. Just accept the compliment.
I haven't seen you swing a club in like 10 years, but other than that.
I was smoky, bro.
So I gotta ask. I was watching
know.
some of the videos. I was watching some of the videos on your Instagram page.
Yeah, man.
Do you have a cameraman, or do
Yeah,
you set up because you got some cool angles on there?
Yeah,
You
thank
got
you.
from behind to the side.
Everything. We do. I have a my buddy Mike, my best friend from life, is he works for the company, does all my editing and all that, man. We actually took a bunch of those videos. We took a trip to Florida this year just for a week. Went down there, just recorded videos, and that's like all of our YouTube stuff, our course vlogs. But yeah, he's behind the camera, does all the editing. There would be definitely no shot ever golf without my boy Mike, man. He's killer.
Yeah, watch the don't do that shit slice edition 6
Yeah.
times.
Don't do that shit's a
And-
good one, bro. I think that there's people for the dynamic I'm trying to give out of golf. I think what a lot of instructors are missing the point on is that like they just take themselves far too seriously, and it's just a game. It's golf. You could definitely be you could work very hard and be very diligent on your craft, but there's I think a humor and a lightheartedness that people are going to connect to more so than just being like this crazy technical golf pro. You know what I mean? It's not life and death stuff, so you gotta keep it light. So
Oh,
don't
yeah.
do that shit. People have been loving it, bro. People love it. Don't do that shit. So I appreciate
Perfect time now because, like I was saying, all there is to do is golf. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll play 5 or 6 times a year. I've been out 5 or 6 times already this summer. So
Sick. Yeah, man, no doubt.
it's- yeah, a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
So Frank, I'm assuming you watched the outing the other week. Brady, Manning, Phil,
Hell yeah.
Tiger. So in the one hole they did like, okay, you can only play with one club. You got to play 18. You only get 3 clubs. Which 3 clubs do you pick?
Very good question. Very, very good question. I think I'm gonna go with a man. It's a good one. I'm gonna go with a wedge, a pitching wedge.
Pitching wedge.
Miss some greens out there. You're gonna need to have some soft hands. So I'm gonna go with a pitching wedge specifically. Man, this is good. I think I'm gonna go with like a 8 iron, depending on the course. A lot of the courses that you play, I just love having
Okay.
an 8 iron, and the big dog. I think you need a driver in the bag, honestly.
So you're putting with a wedge.
I'm putting with anything. You putting, yeah, you can putt with a driver. You can putt with anything, man. Putting's easy. Bro.
I can't even putt with a putter, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Same,
true.
bro, honestly. It's
Funny
true.
is, the other day, some dude left his pitching wedge on by the green. And we went to give it to him. He's like, "Yeah, I just keep it. It must be broken. I can't hit it anyway." We're
That's
like, "All right, dude. Yeah, that's why."
Never heard that. I love that. It's like, yeah, I left it there for a reason. So,
Yeah.
That
I
is
was
true.
thinking a different direction because I would need a putter. So I was thinking taking like a 4 iron off the tee,
okay.
and then something I can hit intermediate, I was torn between an 8 or a 9 iron as my 2.
Okay.
Something that can get a little loft, but I'm not gonna scull it over.
This is my only
And then a
question,
putter.
though, bro. This is my only question. This is why you'd be screwed out there, and you need me as a caddy. So if you're hitting a 4 iron off more holes, say if the hole is 400 yards, is your typical par 4, right?
Yeah.
How far do you hit your 4 iron? You just absolutely pure one down the heart. How far are you hitting it on your perfect one?
Me on a 4
Yeah.
iron, I'm
Yeah.
only hitting my 4 iron like 250. I don't
Oh,
hit my irons very well.
250?
Only
Two-
Bro, you're not
250?
hitting your 4 iron
What are you
250.
juicing over there?
Dude, you're
I'm
not
just
hitting
going
it
based
for
on
250.
but I'm hitting. That's my logic is it's a par 4. I'll just go 4-iron twice,
You're
and maybe I'll be
logic-
close.
Dude, you're a liar, bro. You're not hitting
Yeah,
4
that's the
iron
first issue at
250.
hand, bro. First issue at hand is we have to get your yardages right.
Yeah, no,
got dial your
I'm an eyeballer. I'm an eyeballer, that's for sure. If you can't tell by that response.
He's an eyeballer, not a
I
shot caller.
I couldn't tell you what 250 yards is. I measure golf courses and football fields.
I'm gonna get you a ruler for the next
I'm mostly
time we play.
off by 30 to 40 yards. That should be a big deal.
All right. Fair enough.
Only.
I'm gonna let you do you then with those clubs, then, bro.
No, I appreciate it. I'm gonna start
I-
watching shot shaver videos and
Yes, sir.
take my buddies to school next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
So Harrison, I was talking to Byam over the weekend, and I have a really good Byam anecdote that I kind of want to get into. But before I do, any other questions for our man Frank over here?
I have
Go
a
ahead,
couple,
Harrison.
but what's your anecdote? I'm curious about this.
Yeah, you gotta be.
We can go back to the questions.
Well, obviously, Byam just demonstrated how great of a golfer he is. So I was talking to Byam, Friday night, and he tells me, he's going out with two of his boys and one of their friends who played at Holy Cross. And I know Byam's friends. They're good guys. They're goofballs. And they told this kid who's legit that Byam was a scratch golfer on the Lehigh team. So I've been sitting on the edge of my seat since then. I gotta know what happened.
I showed up with my best outfit. I had like the Nike.
It's hitting 4-iron 250. Of course, he's hitting scratch, bro. Are you crazy?
I had like my black Lulu pants, like Tiger Woods red top, the Nike like fitted mesh hat. Walk up to the first fairway, act like I've been there 100 times, and just put one in the woods. and he goes, scratch golfer, huh? I was like, yeah, in another life.
Did you yuck it up beforehand? Did you like?
Yeah, we were just chatting. I was like, our boy Dave Alexson, Lehigh Golf. He's like, yeah, I know most of those guys. I was like, funny, I've never heard of you.
By the way,
funny.
guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It was a nice little ruse, but it was fun. He was a nice guy. He gave me some pointers, which is always appreciated.
Yeah, you need them.
All right. I was gonna, Frank. I wanted to ask you one whole playoff. So now we're getting into a section we call hot plate here, which is like just debate topics. So right now, the question that I have for you is: there's a one-hole playoff. They win or you die. Who are you taking between these 4 players? These are all professionals. Brooks Koepka, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Rory McIlroy.
Tiger Woods.
Thank you. All right. I'm glad you said that with such confidence.
It doesn't matter whether it's like a par 3.
They just have to make a par. It would be an honor to have Tiger be my cause of death, honestly. Like, even if he did make a bogey, it's like, I'm going out. Tiger, I put my life in your hands. I fully accept any outcome.
Yeah.
That was an incredibly fast answer. I mean, Rory's number 1, right now, technically.
Yeah, he is number 1, but it's just you
it's
got
Tiger. It's Tiger.
Not even hesitation, no doubt.
Awesome. That was a great answer.
Thank you, bro.
That wasn't that plate wasn't very hot.
I guess it wasn't very hot. I don't know. I thought
Tiger
had some age
here's
on
a little
him.
spin-off.
Go ahead.
What if you got between Peyton and Tom Brady, they got to make a fourth quarter comeback, come off the field, and then play a round of 18.
See, because the tough part
The
about
combined score.
Yeah, I like that.
Because like neither of them are moving around very much in the pocket, so they're not going to be tired out for golf.
No.
But they're going to be jawing each other the whole time. Depending on who wins the football game, they're going to have a leg up.
Momentum.
I don't know.
Do you is this right now in this current time?
Yeah. Same as today. Peyton's got more time playing golf.
Okay. But so he's got the advantage of more time playing golf, but the disadvantage of being not in football shape. to make the
Oh,
comeback. So
true.
I think just the physical toll alone of having to go through 4 quarters, I think that Brady's golf game was still so shitty
Yeah.
that I'm gonna go with Peyton Manning to spin zone that. I'm
Damn.
gonna go with
The
Peyton.
utter disrespect.
Yeah, so true, man. He really did not play well, but I feel for him though, man.
Yeah.
Golf is hard. It's so hard. Golf is so hard.
It was the one humanizing thing he's done in 20 years. So
Yeah, man. I'm telling
That,
you, they.
give him that.
that was such a golf pro answer. I feel for him. Golf is so hard.
Oh my God, man! It's ridiculous. People don't know. People don't get it. My biggest, like one of my biggest goals, I need to have happen. I'm gonna sarcastically start pushing for it to really happen. Is that we need to have a 2 handicap, even a 2 handicap, an excellent golfer. By him, we now know that a 2 handicap means that you usually shoot 2 over par. So
Yeah.
if you're hitting
That's
450, I'm probably talking to you. So we need a 2 handicap to play in every PGA Tour event and shoot a fucking 95. I don't know if I can curse on the pod. I'm sorry if I curse. And shoot a 95
You're encouraged to.
and shoot a 95 just to show how hard this shit is that the tour pros do. It is absurd, bro. And so people just don't get. So golf is so hard. One of the reasons I was looking so forward to the match was because it was finally going to be an amateur golfer that's like not that good playing in the pressure of, playing on TV in front of millions. It's like, dude, that's what's going to happen. If you're, if you're 5 degrees off with your path all day and your face is just a little bit whatever, you can dead shank them all day like Brady was doing in a snap of a finger.
Well, you
So
see in the Masters, they have the one pro, right, that gets to play like if they win the amateur or whatever.
So it's only if the
amateur.
The pro you're talking about, I'm not sure if there's a member that plays when there's an odd amount after the cut. Pretty sick story about it. So if an odd amount of people make the cut, this member at Augusta that's like a filthy golfer just straight up plays in the Masters. It's sick.
Wow.
There's a rumor
That's
that's
got to be one of the best rules in sports.
Sick, dude. No one ever talks about it. Just straight up a member. They're just like, yeah, we just need one more today. Like you just want to hop in like the Masters today.
That's up there with the goalies in hockey that like come in from like the Zamboni or whatever. What's it called?
Best stories in sports. The guy from Augusta National. The dude, was it Philly? The goalie that came off like a local like rink time team and Rudy. Those got to be the 3 best stories.
Sean Astin making his way into every conversation.
Sean Astin. So what do you think Sean Astin's most prominent role is, Frank? Do you think it's Samwise? Do you think it's Rudy? Is it the kid from the Goonies? Oh. Is it the dude from Stranger Things? That's all the kids know him these days. They're like, that's the guy from Stranger Things.
But in terms of human beings as a whole, the Stranger Things one really, really makes a run for the money, more so than you would think. I feel like it deserves more attention than it's given credit for.
What about the guy from Click? the husband. What's up?
Yeah, no doubt. He's the man too. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Goonies though, bro.
Great movie.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, it's an iconic role.
That's a 90s kids answer right there.
I don't know. You got to go with Samwise. Potatoes, boil them, mash them, put them in a stew. Is that what he says?
Samwise.
No, Mr. Frodo, no.
What are we saving that bread for? For the journey home, of course.
All-time optimist.
All right. So our last kind of, unless, is there any other hot plate? I don't know if I'm stepping on anyone's toes. His name.
No, you're good.
I have something.
You sound convinced that it's not a great one.
No.
Nah, I'm gonna pass on it.
All right. Well, if you want to bring it up later,
the steaming forks plate's getting a little cold.
I gotcha. So the next, our last topic here is called. We usually call it Portobello Veggie Wrap, and it's basically what our pet peeves are, and we usually just do it generally, like some pet peeve that we like experience during the week. I'm gonna change it up a little bit, flip the script a little bit here, and I'm gonna call it putting from the rough, and we're gonna do specifically pet peeves of golf. So Frank, I'm going to let you start off. What is your number one? What do you hate the most that you see on the golf course, you experience on a golf course?
You know what, man? Mine, I'm going to do it from a golf pro's perspective, from my profession. My honest pet peeve is when someone comes to you for a golf lesson and then debates you on what you're telling them to do. Because I have no patience for it, man. I'm not an arguer. I don't have an arguing bone in my body. But it's like, man, have I never gone to a dentist and just been like, I know what you're about to do there, but I saw this video on YouTube. I really think that if you go under the root, it could save you some time. It's like, dude, I do this every day full time. This is how I earn my living. Like, trust me, I know more about how to hit a golf ball. Because then why are you here if not? You know, so it's like usually I'm just like, yo, listen, man, I'm not like the argument type. Like, you probably got this. Like, you know, I'm never gonna try and convince somebody. So Harry, from a golf pro perspective, it'd probably be that coming to someone for advice for a lesson, and then trying to, you know, somehow outwit them in a way. But like I said, I'm probably the same dentist that does that to me. I'm just gonna do it as a joke next time I'm there. Just be like, dude, I'm telling you, your right elbow is dropping big time when you're going to that back right canal. And, like, I can give you 2-3 steps if you just stop flying that trail elbow. But
I hate when you're at the dentist and they're sucking the water out of your mouth and it gets stuck in like your tongue. You're like,
yeah, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you were a shit show today. Just like I think we have to be more critical about, like, you know, our dentistry.
So do you have a dentist that has been pissing you off? Like,
dude, it sounds like Harry's like, yo, it sounds like you have a very specific beef out with somebody. No, there's just a dentist is just a great analogy for like that role. I feel like it's just like
You can bring them on the pod to discuss.
Yeah,
so you could fix a tooth and they can probably fix a golf swing, is what you're saying.
No, probably not. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Direct opposite. But yeah, it's that would be from a golf pro perspective. From the other perspective, dude, it would probably be pet peeve is gotta just be slow. I guess unawareness of slow play. There's nothing worse than slow play, man. You either have to be, you know, good and slow or shitty and fast. You know, there's like just like a certain criteria that's gonna be met. If you're gonna take 10 shots instead of 4 shots, you know, there's 6 more shots. You have to make up time, big time there. And I don't think people are aware of that enough. So slow play is causing golf to take too long, and in turn not allowing the game to grow because people don't have time to play it because people take too long to play it. Slow play is my pet peeve.
So you kind of agree with, like, you know, Brooks Koepka and those guys who are pushing for like the faster play even on the tour, like stuff like that.
No doubt, man. On the tour, honestly, I can't speak for the same. If I'm playing for millions, I'm probably taking 2 or 3 looks at that putt. Like, you know, I'm probably gonna make sure that I can't speak on that. You know, I can only speak on the pressure that I felt at a municipal course on a Saturday. Harry, you're playing Latourette, 10:37 tee time on a Saturday morning. I can't see more than 2 practice strokes at the 4-footer. Like, like I'm not with it, bro. So
I mean, that course,
10:30
you know,
Saturday tee time. That's prime.
Yeah, you know, you're getting off that course
hour.
at like getting off that course at like 5 at Lotto.
Yeah, bro, it's a whole day affair. That's why people aren't getting into the game. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to go to the golf course for 7 hours on a Saturday. Like, but it's like if people just play normally and take like, you know, 2.5, 3 hours, it's like that would be sick.
Do you think that they should keep this rule of everyone has their own golf cart? Because I think that actually has sped up the rate of play,
I
the
think
pace
so
of
too,
play.
but people don't have golf carts like that, bro. People are
I know, but
like, you know, it's like a golf course only has a certain amount of carts. So
can they hold more? What do you like? What about Richmond County? Do you think
supply
they could
chain?
Hold more?
It's a supply chain issue, Harrison. You got to figure it out.
Yeah, correct. It's not. Is it going to bring in the amount of money worth bringing in more carts? It's not just like, you know, we have space for it, but like, are we just going to buy, you know, 130 carts instead of 80 so that people can, you know,
get more rounds in?
Yeah, it's true, man. It's a dicey question.
I don't know. No, I'm asking. I don't know the answer.
Yeah. I think
I'm not telling you how to do your job, Frank. I'm not. Not after that whole rant you just went through.
A full pie chart. I'm just like, first of all, Harrison, I just specifically said my biggest pet peeve is someone trying to do my job. Like, there's not enough carts.
Harrison, we got an assignment for you. Go back to Lehigh, take a summer course, take supply chain management 186 over again, and come back to Frank with a proposal.
You know, I failed that course, and they just let it slide.
That's why we're struggling so much here with this conversation, bro.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right,
It's all about lean.
It's
all about lean methodology.
Yeah, Six Sigma.
Six Sigma.
Kanban.
Do you think? All right, last question from me, and then I don't know if anyone else has anything. But Do you think that because of this Phil Tiger match, or the both matches, do you think that they're going to start changing potentially, even if it's for some of the smaller tournaments throughout the year? Do you think they're going to start changing up some of the formats a little bit from just the normal stroke play every single time?
I hope so, man. I think that would be awesome. I think the team format is such a cool thing for golf, especially it's only 2-man. Like, you're not going to get too crazy creative. It's like 8-person teams and all this crazy stuff. It's just like 2 men that you're playing in the same group, do a best ball, do an alternate shot or something like that. But just like that same point I made before about, like, when you're on the PGA Tour and you are playing for these big numbers, it is an individual sport. So it's tough making these guys out there that are trying to make a living being like, you have to pair up with somebody, and stuff like that. So that's like the behind the scenes issue of why I think they are so hesitant to change the formats, But I think entertainment wise, it's awesome. But I think honestly, the thing that should be taken away from the match is that more players should take advantage of their likeness more than they are right now. I think if Justin Thomas, Spieth, Ricky, and who knows who, Xander Schauffele went out there and played a 2-on-2, I think people are watching that. And even it's like, you get creative this day and age, like the power of Twitch stream and these different platforms like that. You don't need it on TNT.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and make 500,000 on Twitch in a day, with golf fans and stuff like that. So I think it's something that the tour players should start taking more advantage of is their value, their personal brand brings in 2020, as opposed to what it brought Sam Snead in, 1951 or whatever.
There it is from the self-made man himself, Frank the Tank.
Shot Shaver Media Network. There
man.
Love
you
it.
can't say Shot Shaver anymore. Frank copyrighted it.
Yeah, dude, he'll sue you.
It's
Show me the paperwork.
Shaving shots.
Shaving
I'm not shaving shot. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
Uncle T's bleeping all that out, bro.
not.
Harrison, what's your veggie wrap?
Oh, mine. I have
just
so
bring up the
many
segment
golf.
and not have one.
I have so many golf ones though. Like I had like one that. So mine is. The slow play is a good one, but mine actually was kind of the opposite of that, where this guy, I was playing Twilight yesterday, and they paired us up with me and my dad with 2 other people. There were 4 really slow people in front of us, 4 really slow people in front of them. You could see like there was just a huge buildup, and there's this guy playing by himself behind like 10 foursomes, and just comes up to us. He's like, "I'm playing through." And I'm like, "You're not going anywhere." Like, there's another foursome, like, right on the tee box of the next green. He's like, "I'll do what I got to do." And he's just like,
self-awareness.
Wow.
He's in between us 4 and the other foursome. And it's like, it's this old dude, too. And, like, coronavirus. Like, I'm not going to go up to him and, like, tell him, like, "Yo, like, you got to get out of here." Like, it's late in the
cough on him
anyway. No, we just, we played only a couple more holes because that's all we could do. And that was it. But, yeah, that happens too sometimes, where people just think they can do whatever they want, especially when they play by themselves. And I'm not gonna lie, I've probably done it before and been that guy. But
you know what it is, Harry, though? Both of those examples are disregard for others' time. So it's really the same pet peeve. Either way you look at it, it's just not respecting that other people got shit to do as well and have the same,
exactly.
Well.
Exactly.
That's our joint pet peeve, if you will. No, I'm sorry. What's the name of that segment called again?
It's
Veggie wrap?
Usually called the veggie wrap, but we're gonna call
it how when you get a lunch buffet, when you get a lunch buffet catered, and there's like the turkey sandwiches, the roast beef sandwiches, the Italian combos, then there's the portobello veggie wraps.
Yeah.
that nobody wants.
I don't want to keep saying pet peeve. I want to stay on brand with the veggie wraps, bro.
Yeah. That's our putting. Oh, and I was gonna say putting from the rough.
Putting from the rough.
Not like other people. Like, I don't care what other people do, but myself, like, trying to putt from the rough, impossible.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's happened. I've had to try. It's tough.
Terrible.
Bime, what's your wrap?
I think Frank touched on it, but it's more of a personality on the golf course. It's practice swing guy. It's not necessarily just the timing. It's just, the guy will take a swing like behind his ball, couple swings, line it up, get in front of the ball, like line it up, and just loves watching himself swing and like the follow through. And I don't mind it if you're in the fairway, you know, you got to line it up, but like it's the chips. It's like how many times you got to, you know, do the
Those
practice
chips
swing.
are the most nerve-wracking.
Yeah, but I almost feel like that you got to line it up and just get up and go. But no, it's less about the timing. It's more about we're not. I mean, we're.
I thought it was
you're out there.
Potbelly guy.
You're out there to look. Oh, Potbelly guy. Yeah, you already told that story. You're the Potbelly guy with a cigar. Try to run up
Oh
on
yeah,
our
I guess it's
foursome.
a similar. I guess it's a
Same
similar
story.
situation.
Smoking a cigar, telling us, "Hey, you guys gonna pick it up?" No, I'm not gonna pick it up. But yeah, it's more practice swing guy. Like we're out here to have fun. We're out here to look good, but more importantly, we're out here to have fun. You know.
Yeah, that 50-50. Looking good as
Yeah.
well. Big time, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got to be.
I also hate the dudes that come onto the course wearing like the full on, you know, outfit and
I thought of
stuff.
mine. It's people who come out and golf without wearing a hat. I've seen a lot of kids these days are out here golfing and they're not wearing a hat. It's unprofessional. Everyone's got a hat, you know, just throw on a hat. Doesn't have to be anything nice, but
See, that's similar. My Audible, not what I have written in the show notes, but just to keep it on track here. People wearing like gym shorts, like mesh shorts, like what, you know?
tank tops.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad.
I don't know. I've done that. I have the courses where I can do that. I know the courses that I can play like that though.
I've worn bird dogs
Frank is
playing
just
golf
in
once.
terror right now. He does not
No,
like what he's
man,
hearing.
I was gonna say that it's the courses that like you're really not allowed to do it at, but it's like the guys that kind of just say like screw you, like you're not gonna kick me off. But like Harry, if it's the ones that like it's okay at, then it's cool. But it's like
Cargo shorts never
I'll play a
okay.
Twilight.
Cargo
I'll play a
shorts
Twilight
never.
round in
cargo
bird
shorts
dogs.
Ever okay, dude. Ever.
Yeah, cargo shorts in life are not
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's a well-established fact.
Yeah, I
Okay.
learned that
I used to play in
I learned that the
cargo shorts
hard
when I was
way.
like 12.
Freshman year at Lehigh, I learned that the hard way.
You would wear cargo
I'm pretty sure Tony kicked me out of a party for showing up in cargo shorts.
Smart man.
I was expecting like a thumbs up emoji there, but no. There you go.
Dang it.
All right. Anyone, you already said his name. Did you have another one you wanted to share?
No, that was my only veggie wrap.
How big of a difference is the type of golf ball that you use?
I think that's like one of the most completely blown out of proportion things of all time, man. The golf ball. It makes no difference at all to me. I just like just with like the normal quality of golf of people. I've never, ever once given a lesson. Not one time. You would think one time it would come up and been like, you should probably change your golf ball. Like that's
Yeah.
oh, it's a complete marketing.
Everything you're doing is perfect. Just your golf ball sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Change that.
That would be the sickest thing. If there was just golf balls on the market, just be like, wait till I show you what I'm about to bring out. Right.
There's a
I
market
actually
for that.
think-
There's a market for that.
I actually think it's
Heat
easier.
seeking golf ball.
So my actually one long-term invention that I have actually, I'm making new golf balls and golf clubs that are both bigger. I think that golf is way too hard, and that's why a lot of people don't play it. They get embarrassed, and it's just too hard. That's why I laughed about it before, Harry. You were laughing at me, bro. But like, I just feel it's just the room for error is just very minimal, man. Like, so these people that come out for the first time, these wives that are older, it could be husbands that are coming out older, whatever it is, you're getting into golf late, or your kids starting out early. When you go top the ball 35 times in a row and miss 10, you're not going to be like, I can't wait to come back tomorrow. It's just not how it's going to happen. So I think that the circumference of the ball has to be bigger, so it's easier to get the leading edge, which is the bottom of the club, underneath the equator of the ball, so that's able to launch easier. Right now, the issue that so many people have is that the leading edge hits above the equator of the golf ball, causing it to not be able to get airborne. So if that equator is higher up, it's much easier to get underneath the ball. So I'm in the near future, you're going to see some shot shaver clubs and balls that are a little bigger to make it easier for people.
That's an awesome idea.
We almost touched on it. Another guy who's not fun to play with is Rage Guy.
Yeah, Rage Monster.
Rage Guy. Hype beast Rage Guy. Usually
I've broken a couple of clubs in my day. I won't lie.
Yeah, usually has like huge calves. You know,
Yeah, no doubt, man. Ex-hockey guy, like had like one too many concussions, but like just kept going through it because his dad that was on him in high school, you know, that really wanted him to go to the league. That
he's
guy.
drinking Bud Heavies.
Yeah, he could drink
Fast in his
16 Bud
bag.
Heavies without fucking blinking an eye.
Yo, Frank, I will say this, and let me know if you agree about
Yeah.
about the ball situation.
Yep.
I actually find it because I used to think that it mattered, and I used to get the Pro V1X, you know, and like all that shit. I actually think it's easier. I think to a certain point, but I think even at like my level where like I'm a good golfer, I'm not great, I'm not bad. It's easier to play with a ball that you would consider as a crappy ball because there's less spin.
A noodle
There's less
4.
spin on the ball.
Oh, I love
They
the
go further,
noodles.
man. Yeah, they're
It
like a
goes
rock.
further and there's less spin on the ball.
Yeah, if you know
Those
what it
Pro
is, but-
V1Xs like go all over the place.
That's the thing, Harry. There's definitely differences in them, so I don't want to make it sound like the balls aren't different anyway. You can feel if you're hitting a top flight range ball as opposed to a Pro V, the top flight's going to feel like a rock, you know. So there's differences, but I think when people are trying to have that be the answer to like a lot of their problems,
Yeah, no,
it's
definitely.
like you said, where it's like, listen, man, I can get a noodle and play 6 holes straight with a noodle even par, because like you're just hitting it a mile and it's not really spinning too much. And
I'm hitting 250 with my 4-iron.
Dude, if you're it's within like wait till Bynum starts like actually playing that. Like world long drive. We're laughing at him now. He's just gonna be world long drive champ, 7-iron.
Yeah, we'll have to make note of that for next week.
Talk about that.
250.
You can put it in his nays speak. It's like running an AWS instance on like a Raspberry Pi.
A great piece of content for you guys coming up via YouTube video.
Yeah.
Go to the range that there's some kind of a TrackMan or some kind of a system and see what Bynum actually hits his 4-iron.
We should.
That's
We will. We will 100%
Shot Shaver lunchtime pod video collab. Just
Yes.
me at the range, just launching balls into the woods.
We'll start it. We'll give you 15 balls out of the jump. We'll try and shave shots and then see if we can get you to 250 by the end of the session.
Love it.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm about 5-minute drive equidistant from 2 different ranges, so I got no excuses now.
All
There
right.
you go.
So anytime
Now
you
that
can
I'm out of the city for the summer.
anytime you can throw an equidistant to a sentence, it's a win as well too. You just sound like very intelligent with that word, equidistant. Great
Don't
word.
I gotta try to sound intelligent when I can. Doesn't happen often.
Yeah, anytime, bro, just keep saying shit about the same distance apart, man. Equidistant, just sprinkle that into as many as you can.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
Speaking of circumference.
So Frank, I know you have these new things called smart cards out. You wanna explain what those are a little bit, because I think it's a great idea.
Thank you, Roma. Yeah, give a quick plug. So there's an issue right now in the golf industry for amateur stat keeping. Okay, Harry, I think you're the most avid golfer here, so you would know what I'm talking about in regards to when you have a scorecard. Usually, what people write at the bottom of their scorecard is to track their fairways in regulation, greens in regulation, and putts throughout the course of a round. So a fairway in regulation is when you hit the fairway. A green in regulation is when you hit the green and you're putting for a birdie. So you hit the green at 2 or 3, depending on what the hole is. And then putts is just how many putts it took for you to get in the hole. These are three very simple stats that if you just got better in those stats, your overall score would get better. So there's a lot of people worried about their score right now, but not the stats that make their score happen, which is how their score came to be. But now the issue at hand, though, is that we have these stats, we write them at the bottom of our scorecard, but then we throw the scorecard in our whatever the fuck you throw it in. No one has any scorecards, and if you do have them, you're a little bit of a weird dude. But it's a side note. So now, but if you have the scorecards, now the apps available on the market require you that they're going to go, okay, now you scribbled that at the bottom of your scorecard. Now you're going to be able to data enter into your phone what you got on these holes. How many fairways did you hit? How many greens did you hit? The apps actually go even more in depth. Did you hit the right side of the fairways, left side of the fairway? But then you're that guy in your cart, like we were talking about before, that's sitting there with this fucking GPS out, looking at everything, trying to put in all his stats, taking time that nobody wants to play with. So the two issues we have at hand, the apps that exist right now, you have to data enter in, very monotonous process. No one does it. The other issue at hand is that we just write them on our scorecard and nothing happens with them. So what we did is we made the scorecard smarter. So at the bottom of all of our scorecards that are called smart cards, there's a line for fairways in regulation, greens in regulation, and putts throughout the course of your round. You fill the scorecard in like you normally would. And then after the round, you hold your phone over the scorecard and scan it in like you would do a mobile check deposit. Takes the data off the scorecard, puts it in your personal player database, and now you have stats tracking your yearly statistics that all I'm asking you to do is just use a scorecard like you normally would, write the scores like you normally would at the bottom, and then just hold your phone over the card at the end of the round, and we're able to take all the data from that card into your phone. So it's the first turnkey amateur solution for stat keeping. The reason that all those apps are existing, but no one uses them that is because they're very annoying to use. I love golf, so I base my whole career around it, and you're never going to catch me sitting after the round putting in how many fairways and entering all these stats. It's just not going to happen.
That's not what the 19th hole is for.
The 19th hole is for a quick scan, and you just go get after it. You know what I mean? You don't want the guy data entering in the corner. So we really feel like this is going to be the answer to the amateur golfer knowing more about their games. It's going to be a platform for golf pros to be able to give it to their students and be able to prove that since you started to work with me, now you hit 20% more fairways, 30% more greens. So there's a ton of different people that we feel like this is going to help, and it's going to be a cool thing, man. So
Gotta have some KPIs.
Idea. I love it.
Please, buddy.
It'd be cool, like you can equip your bag, like you can add different clubs, different clubs that you played with that day, so you can keep track.
I love where your brain is at. So I'm going to tell you, I want to step further. Right when you sign up for the app, you're going to select what clubs you play with. So now I'm able to go back to club companies and club manufacturers and say I have stats based on the clubs that either you make or your competitors make that say that with your clubs you hit X amount of fairways in regulation, and with their clubs you hit X amount of fairways in regulation, and take the data from all these amateur golfers depending on what clubs they play and try and resell that and restructure that to the club companies and be the first person to get stat keeping on the amateur golfer like that.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's incredible.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let me know when you find someone who's hitting the 4-iron 250.
That's not going to happen, brother. I literally got to go to Rory's house and watch him just happy Gilmore at it, and he still might not be able to do it, but you got it, though.
All right. Well, Frank, thanks so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. This has been a ton of fun. You're going to be, by the way, just off the record, unofficial sponsor of Lunchtime Podcast. We're going to promote the Shot Shaver solution. You know, we won't say shaving shots. We won't say shaving shots because can't do it. Bleep that out, Tony.
Smart of you.
But you know, we got your back. We think you have an awesome brand, awesome company. Way to go. Keep it up. And you know, we'll talk to you. We got to get you back on sometime soon.
Yeah, man.
Once we get some stats out there, you know, we'll get the smart cards and we'll keep our stats, and then we'll want to, you know, come go over them with you so that you can give us some tips.
Yeah, I'll be interacting with the page. I'll get my buddies on it too. So we play 2 or 3 times a week now. So
I appreciate it, man. That sounds great. Yeah, you guys have a sick thing going here too. I appreciate you taking the time to have me on and let me talk about myself for a little bit. It's always great, man.
No one wants to hear us talk for 45 minutes anyway.
Yeah, we realize our listeners are sick of that.
Yeah.
No, this is sick. Yeah, I really appreciate it. It was a privilege to be on the show. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Good luck.
Thank you, boys. We'll get you out for a round of golf soon. I'm telling you, that lunchtime Shot Shaver Golf full course vlog has got to come soon. That's just gold.
Let's go to
that's happening.
LBI.
That's happening as soon as
LBI next LBI whenever Harrison has us over, and we'll play it on there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, we got to get our boy Ty. Ty's got to be in that too, Harry. I'm sure he's
yeah. Ty will definitely be in
Jeremy.
on that.
Smoke him on camera any day I can, bro, for sure.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Take care.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Peace out.
Jeremy.
All right. Thanks for listening to that interview with Frank Gargano at Shot Shaver Golf. Make sure to check him out. Great guest. Great first guest for Who's on Deck. On Saturday, we got Mo Ayachi. I still haven't figured out how to pronounce his last name, but we got him, and he's the creator of RTNBA, the RTNBA Twitter and Instagram account. Big media person.
Ever heard of him?
So yeah, we got him on Saturday, and this is starting out great. So
make sure you brush up on your Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Pokemon and NBA comparisons. That's all I'm doing this week.
Best user submission will be talked about on the show. Twitter and Instagram DM lines are open.
All right.
Hear that, ladies?
What's our Twitter handle?
Pursuit of Welcome to Lunchtime Podcast.